Hey everyone, and welcome back here. So guys, we're actually going to do another video, and as I mentioned on a previous video, we're going to go ahead and talk about some induction methods, but also some deepening techniques as well. So basically what that means is that there's many ways in which that a person can go into a hypnotic state and in a therapy session. And of course, all of it is completely natural, safe, and effective as well. I'm sorry, and effective as well. Excuse me. So one of the ways is that there is something which is called with the eye technique, and what that essentially means is that you have a person look up as far as at the ceiling, and you will have them just be flat, their feet flat on the floor, and they're actually looking up at the ceiling, and they're picking a particular spot, any kind of spot on the wall. And so once they have identified that spot with that and with their eyes looking, not straining, then from there, as a therapist, what you do is that you do a countdown. And the series of countdown can be any number which that you want. I love to do a countdown from 100 to 0, in which that I like to explain that for all even numbers in which that you hear, that you're going to have your eyes closed, and all odd numbers wide awake. So in other words, it's going to look something like this, just as a practice. So for even numbers, remember, eyes closed, and then odd numbers wide awake. And what you would do is that you would notice as you're doing that, what happens is that your eyes is struggling now to catch up. And I like to make it a little fun as well, but that's one way to put a person into a hypnotic state. A second way is that to have a person's eyes closed, just like this, feet flat on the floor, hands as far as on the side, and from there, do more so of a breathing technique and allow for them to focus primarily on their breathing, and that's another method. Another method in which this actually surprises a lot of people, by the way, is that using their fingers is called finger spreading. So what happens now, because of the fact when you go through this technique, you find yourself literally that your fingers start to spread, separate and separate, wider and wider, separate and separating, wider and wider. And you can tell yourself that you can close it at any time, but the more that you tell yourself to close your fingers, the harder that you find. So I'm separating, wider and wider. That's another technique. And there's many other techniques as well in terms of induction methods, but for the sake of this video, I'll try to make it very brief. When it comes to the deepening techniques, this is more so when a person is in a hypnotic state. Then from there, if you really want to go deeper, there's a method which is called the staircase technique, in which that as they're going through, from there, you are counting down as a therapist 20 to 1. And what they're doing is that they're visualizing or imagining, playing or pretend that they're going down a staircase ladder. And with each step is getting them closer and closer, either to a door or to the beach or to a house, wherever of their choosing in which that they like. Once that they get to 0, then from there, they go into a mode of which is called deep sleep, or whatever word in which that you want to use. Another deepening technique is that, and I love doing this with my clients, is a progressive relaxation, in which I would then start from the top of their head all the way down to the sole of their feet as a method to getting them very relaxed and comfortable. Because as you see, when your clients are coming to you, they're already in a high anxiety state. So basically what we're doing as a therapist, we're using that anxiety to our advantage, and thus we are reversing it. So we're getting them extremely high with anxiety, and then yet we are lowering it down to where their mind and body are now in one, in unison. And thus, when their mind and body is in total relaxation, then we can move on with the session. So there's many other different ways, guys, but again, I hope this definitely helped. I just wanted to go over some of the induction methods and also deepening techniques in which that I've used. I'm pretty sure there's many, many more. But stay tuned on the next video as we're going to be talking about here self-hypnosis, which is definitely one of my personal favorites, and the benefits of self-hypnosis as well. So if you want to find out more, please just take a look at the next video, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.